Welcome to part 3 of this Football Manager 2016 experiment involving a World Super League database, which you can download via the link in this description. By the way, there are a few mistakes with it as discussed in part 2, but it's still good fun if you want to have a play on it. And there's a few other World Super League databases out there as well, I think on the Steam Workshop. Anyway, this is the one I'm using, and in part 1 and 2 I've holidayed a combination of 6 years, and I've holidayed another 5 years in this part 3. If you want more parts, if you want a part 4 where I holiday a few more years, please hit that like button and let me know in the comment section below. And if there's enough interest, I will happily do another part to this video. So once again, I'm going to go from the top division down to the bottom and see what's been going on in the past 5 seasons on this save. So these are the past few winners of the World Super League, the top division. You can see Bayern Munich won for a second year in a row in 2022 before Barcelona won it twice in a row. Then Man United won it and PSG won it. So PSG have won it twice, Bayern Munich have won it twice, Chelsea have won it twice, but Barcelona, the overall winners so far with 3 victories. Man United getting their first league title, interestingly there. But the English team's doing very well again, featuring in the top 3 places. Roma this year, though, finished in 2nd, and Benfica finishing 3rd. That really is quite interesting, actually. So let's just go here and have a look at the past few years. You can see, stats-wise, top goal scorer, we're getting to see quite a few regions coming in now. So the top goal scorer is a Roma player, a French guy, Aymeric Marchand. 25 goals in 33 games for France. Top player he is, and average rating wise, another regen, this guy playing for Benfica, South African, Wellington Kaba, who is an attacking midfielder and looks very good as well. He also got the most assists, as you can see there. So we'll have a look at the other seasons then. We'll just go back 5 seasons. So Bayern Munich won it the first year of this update with 71 points. Benfica, Dynamo Kiev and Juventus going down. Benfica really are a yo-yo team on this. Then the next season Barcelona won it. Chelsea, Roma finishing 3rd before going on to the next season and winning the league once again. That was 68 points they won it. That was very, very low points total. This year, 70 points. It really is a low points total required to win the league. Gladbach, Ajax and Napoli relegated that season. Then Man United won their first title with only 69 points. You can have a giggle there if you like. International, Shakhtar and Atletico Madrid were relegated. And then the season just gone, PSG won the league with 78 points, which possibly is a record. We'll have a quick look actually. You can pause this and look at the records if you're interested. Most points, no, it's still Chelsea with 79 points. That is the most points we've seen a team win the league with. Bayern Munich relegated. Wow, that is a shock. Again, Lokomotiv Moscow and AC Milan going down. I think AC Milan have been a bit of a yo-yo team over the last few years. Promoted then. No, not really. They were in the top league for quite a while, so they're not. You can't really call them a yo-yo team. But Bayern Munich getting relegated certainly is a shock after winning the league 2 seasons in a row not long ago. But that's the great thing about a Super League, because there's so much quality. One year you could win the league, next year you could get relegated. It really is that crazy. Barcelona won it twice in a row. They've won it 3 times in total, and they finished 14th this year. They're not. They've really varied as well. Consider that's their lowest finish, but they have finished in the bottom 10 4 times now. So they're certainly not amazing. You can see Neymar is the captain of Barcelona at the age of 34 on this. Interesting stuff. So let's go down the tables then and see what's been going on in recent years. So Division 1, you can see the winners on the right hand side here. If you want to pause the video and look at things in a bit more detail at this point, you're welcome to. Valencia, Napoli and Sporting getting promoted back to the top division. All of them have spent time in the top division before and been relegated before. See Stoke City relegated, Real Sociedad and Palermo going down as well. Now Gladbach, who were in the top division not long ago, almost got relegated this season. Division 2 then, won by Levante. Now this, as I explained in episode or part 2, now there are more mistakes in terms of teams being missed out, but I do believe this competition structure is more solid than my last experiment, the last World Super League, I did an experiment on it on FM15, because there was teams that would get 100 points and teams that would get 0 points, and it was just too varied. But this is very tight. Teams are getting promoted with 64 points from Division 2, which is definitely more in line. It shows that the reputation of these teams are similar, they're a similar ability, and it's much tighter. This would be a very entertaining league, if you think about it. The top team managed to lose 8 games this season, and 120, but Inter Milan, just noticed in Division 2, mid-table, not doing so good on this. Juventus are down in 17th. I didn't even notice that, to be honest. I forgot that they were relegated in 2020, then relegated from Division 1 last year, and almost relegated from Division 2. What has happened to them in the last 5 years? Really crazy stuff going on with them. Let's go down then to Division 3. Fulham promoted from Division 3, going up. Doing very well here. Augsburg, St Etienne and Dnipro going down. West Ham now down in Division 3, which is sad to see from my point of view. Newcastle up in 4th, almost getting promoted. Not quite managing to do so though. Division 4 then. Hull City have done really, really well on this save. Let's be honest. Let's look at them. I think they've had 3 promotions. 4. Promoted from Division 7, then Division 6. Then Division 5, and now they've just won Division 4. They've gone up 4 leagues in 11 seasons, effectively. And Andrew Robertson's had a really good time on this save. Let's go back then. Let's go down. Everton also promoted from Division 4, by the way. Basel, Frankfurt and Braga relegated. Division 5 then. What's happened? Stade Rennais going up with Austria Vienna and Astana. Relegated. Chorno Moretz. I don't think I've ever heard of them, if I'm honest. I'm not really sure where they're from originally, because obviously it also says Liechtenstein now, or I can't say Liechtenstein. I don't know the proper pronunciation. Sorry, someone did have a go at me for pronouncing it wrong. I do apologise. I looked up on Wikipedia and they said Liechtenstein, but apparently that's still not right. So I'm not really 100% sure how to. Maybe my English accent's just not good enough. I'm sorry. Anyway, let's go down. Division 6, Anderlecht and 2 other teams which I won't even try to pronounce because I will embarrass myself, going up. Grasshoppers going down. I've always loved the name Grasshoppers. I used to love it as a kid. Let's go down to Division 7 then. Bursaspor, Mold and Dynamo Minsk going up from Division 7. And then Division 8, we're nearly at the bottom before you fall asleep. Division 8, Wigan getting promoted from Division 8, and Videoton also going up with 75 points. They did run away with it, actually, looking at that. And lastly, Division 9. Oh, it's got stuck. There we go. Karpaty going up with 91 points. I think that's the highest we've seen. And CFR Cluj with the worst, 17 points. We'll have a look at the records in Division 9, actually, to see what was the lowest points total, if there is an option of being able to see that. Sequences, results, no. Overview. Well, the most points is 91, which was this season. And they scored the most goals this season as well. I don't know if there is lowest. I can't see lowest. Lowest attendance, 1. That is fantastic. 1 person attended this game in 2016 between Arsenal Kiev and Nefki. That is hilarious. 1 person. Ah, dear, poor guy turning up by himself. So the winners of the World Super Cup in recent years, the last 5 years, we saw Monaco won it against Chelsea, Man United beat Man City, PSG beat Monaco in an all-French tie, Southampton beat Wolfsburg, and then Schalke beat Benfica in the last year. The final is always at the Rheinbach Stadium in Liechtenstein, maybe, which only has a capacity of 7,838 people. However, it's great to see that having a really major tournament played there. So I just want to have a quick look at transfers and manager movements again, see what's been going on over the past few years, any major transfers. So we saw the biggest one here, Diogo Feio going from Wolfsburg to Man City for £66 million, a regen from Portugal, looks about 57 years old, but is a cracking player. Christian Pavon, a really good player at the start of the game, wonder kid, moving from Bayern Munich to Roma for £61 million. That's a huge signing for them. This year, 2023, was Schnatterer, a German player. He was the biggest signing. Monaco splashing £69 million on him. You can giggle once again if you like. Yuri Tielemans was the top guy in 2024, moving from Man City to PSG for £59 million. I love this guy. I loved him on FM15. Really quality player, and I'm not surprised that it cost them PSG that much to get him, because he really is a star player. At 2025 then, Alex Lopez was the top player, going from Seville to Barcelona for £65 million. He's a regen from Spain, only 3 caps with Spain. And then the year after, the year just gone in fact, Maximiliano Romero, great name, going from Wolfsburg to Barcelona for £39.5 million. He's actually a real player, I think. 27 years old, 6 goals in 17 games for Argentina. Quality player. But no massive signing this year. So manager movements, what's happened this year, for example. Guardiola has left Bayern Munich because they were relegated, so Dani Ceballos has taken over. Is there anything? Oh, Pele, the Southampton striker, is in charge of Arsenal. We'll have a look at the teams again. I'll do what I did last time and go down the teams in alphabetical order. I think Arsenal are probably, or AC Milan are probably top actually. So let's go down. Ilsinho, manager of AC Milan. He's a Brazilian, 40 years old. So some young players or young people in charge of these big teams here, but they were relegated this year. Arsenal 12th, finished 12th this year under Pele. They've still got Ramsey at the team. Dybala's they're still their key player. Let's have a quick look at Ramsey actually, out of interest. 35 years old now, still a vice captain for Arsenal. Monaco finished 10th. Now Slaven Bilic is in charge. So where's he been? He's been at Man United, hasn't he? I want to have a look. His journey. So wow, he's really been in charge of some big teams. So after leaving West Ham after 2 years, moved to Man United for 5 years, and since then, since the last update, he's been in charge of Juventus, which can't have gone too well because they're now in Division 2. Bayern Munich for a short period, then Udinese for a very short period before moving to Monaco, and he's been there for almost 3 years now. But that's some journey for him. Oh, they've still got Lukaku. He's their captain, 33 years old. 55 goals in 104 games for Belgium. In fact, we can have a look. I didn't look at the world ranking, but we can have a look at that. The points are really low because there's no World Cup. That is the simple reason. They just play friendlies effectively. You can see Brazil are top. Don't think there's anything. Oh, Liechtenstein. They've certainly been affected in some way. In fact, this is really interesting because everyone's playing. All the top teams are now in this country. Their world ranking has gone from 112th up to 17th since the start of the game, because they'll be producing better players. That is so interesting, because obviously these clubs like Liverpool, for example, have produced someone like Cazu, possibly. Where did he start? Santos. It doesn't really matter where he started, but they're playing. In fact, he's really a native Brazilian, isn't he? He was born in Brazil, but because obviously Santos, the youth system, is now in Liechtenstein, that he's become a national player for them. This is really quite interesting, actually, I must say. This is one of the most interesting things about this experiment, because of where the competition is based. It's an incredible competition with all the best teams in the world in it. These clubs are now based there, producing these quality players. Or Suso, for example, he's played for Liechtenstein. Really, really interesting. I don't know. I mean, a lot of these players are real players. Suso is a real player, and he's playing for them. This is a great name, I must say. He's a regen, but that is a cracking name. Started at Vitesse, but yeah, wow. So they're up to 17th in the world. Could they eventually get to number 1? If there was a World Cup, then they would have a chance of winning it, I think. But let's go back. I've gone a bit off topic there, but I'm sure you appreciate that was quite interesting. David Alaba, still captain of Bayern Munich, who got relegated this year, remember. Martin Odegaard is still the key player at the age of 27. He's only 27. And Dani Ceballos is in charge of Bayern Munich. Going down to Chelsea, they have Marcelinho in charge. He's 60 years old. Looks very good for his age, doesn't he? Let's go down to Dortmund, who have another Brazilian in charge. We've had a few Brazilians now. He's only 39, and he helped them finish 11th, I think that says. Barcelona have Bonaventura in charge, only 36 years old. And he's in charge of Barcelona. Andre, Brazilian, is their key player. I wonder if, is he born in Liechtenstein, or have they relocated him there? He is born in Brazil, but he can eventually get his nationality. So all the players that basically, I suppose, aren't quite good enough for their native team end up playing for Liechtenstein, and that's how they've got so good, I guess. Okay, let's go down. Schalke, Ricardo, another Brazilian in charge. This is really curious. Liverpool have an Italian. They have Ciro Ferrara in charge. Jordan Henderson is still the captain at the age of 36 years old. Let's go down to Lokomotiv Moscow, who got relegated this year. They've got Pochettino in charge. Let's have a quick look at his journey so far on the save. After leaving Spurs, he went to Lazio and then Sampdoria, and then moved to Lokomotiv Moscow and got them relegated this year, so not so good for them, or for him. Man City finished 13th this year. Diego Aguirre, another South American, in charge. Kevin De Bruyne is still there at the age of 34. Their key player is a Brazilian. Brazil are the top team in the world, remember, in terms of world ranking. So they've got some cracking players. Man United finished 9th this year. Candreva is in charge. John Stones still on it as the vice captain of Man United. And Paul Pogba is now their key player at the age of 33. So he moved there for 15 million. Eventually left Juventus, I'm guessing, when they were either relegated to Division 2 or just stuck in Division 1 at that point. PSG have Alexander Zorniga in charge, a German. Verratti still playing at the age of 33, still at PSG. Down to Real Madrid, who now have Zinedine Zidane in charge. Another look at their managers in recent years then. So, wow, they've really gone through it. So they had Gary Monk in charge of Real Madrid back in 2016. I don't think, did we spot that one? Then Spalletti, then Luis Ramos, then Mancini, Abdullah Avci, Sergio Ramos in charge, Marcelinho, Luis Martins, and then Zidane. That is a lot of managers, but that's what Real Madrid do, don't they? Down to Roma then, another German. Lots of German and Brazilian managers on this. Christian Pavon is their captain. Santos are in the top division, 15th in the World Super League this year. They're a 5-star reputation team. I just noticed that. We should have a look at the top teams in the world actually at the end of this. That is a great name as well. Romanian, 50-year-old Laurentia Regikamp. I probably murdered that. I do apologise once again. Down to Sporting Lisbona, Benfica. Paco Yemez is in charge, a Spanish guy, and Luis Major is the key player. Down to Stuttgart then. Roger Schmidt is in charge, and an English key player for the first time. Keedon Dyer looks like a good player, and Stuttgart finished 4th this season. That is exceptional for them. Spurs finishing 17th, just about surviving, with Anthony Lopez in charge, and their key player is this French guy, El Mutassim Al-Jradi, who looks pretty good. Must be near the bottom now. Zenit St. Petersburg, I'm guessing they're bottom. Diego Simeone led them to 16th in the World Super League. So, yeah, they've survived, which is pretty good for them, I guess. So, World Player of the Year then, what has been going on? Messi did win his last one in 2022 at the age of 35. What's happened to him then? He's an assistant manager of no club. Then we saw Neymar win it. Then Bernardo Silva. I said he was a good player on this. And then Marcel. Regen. The first Regen to win it, in fact. Spanish guy who plays for AS Monaco. So let's have a look at Golden Ball, which is probably very similar. In fact, it's exactly the same. World Team of the Year, most recently. Probably lots of Regens on this list. Although Oscar and Neymar are there. And Bernardo Silva. Rugani as well. Ter Stegen in goal. Just want to have a look at the clubs then. So the top club in the world, according to this, is Valencia in Division 1. That's broken, and Sporting. But they're Division 1 teams. But they've got the highest reputation at the moment. So the only teams that have 5-star reputation: Napoli, Spurs, Santos, Sporting and Valencia. That is quite strange. We've got a Division 2 team, Udinese and Sion, up there as well, which is quite random. And then you've got the rest of the World Super League, all with 4.5 stars at least. I don't know if this is because maybe their fan base has increased around the world and they've managed to get lots of money in, and that's why they're high up on the list, despite the fact that a few of these teams aren't even in the top division. I don't know. Finances wise, this could be interesting. Let's go to the top. Top is Real Madrid, 1.14 billion. Arsenal, Barcelona, this is more like it. Spurs up in 4th though, doing very well. They often do quite well on this actually. Whatever save you, holiday into the future. Benfica, high on the list. Man City, PSG as well. Nothing crazy. There's the only team that's not in this World Super League is actually a team in Saudi Arabia. There's a couple there. And Los Angeles, LA Galaxy. I wonder what's happening in the USA then. Is there the... I don't think there is the MLS. I can't click on it anyway, so it's locked. But there's a few teams down here. We've got Brighton down there, because I don't think any of the divisions... We can't click on any of the divisions, but because they're locked into place and we can't see them. But these are the major teams. So these are the teams that are not... that have been excluded from this, either by accident or for whatever reason. They've been excluded from the list. From the World Super League. So that's interesting, definitely interesting. You can see the top reputation competitions. There's still La Liga on there, but as I said, it's locked. We can't actually view it. I don't know if there's any teams. I don't know if it's working at all. World Super League is 5-star reputation, as you would expect. The World Cup, that's another thing that's locked and we can't see. None of these are working apart from the Super Cup. But the European International League is working. We can see the recent winners: France, Holland, Portugal and Germany. So we will end part 3 there. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, please hit that like button and let me know in the comment section below if you would like a part 4. If there is enough interest, then I will happily holiday another, let's say, 10 years for part 4 into the future, and we'll see what has happened. If not, then I'll start another experiment and continue with my other videos, which please would be very nice if you could check them out. So yeah, thank you for watching. It's been really interesting, this part 3 actually, so I'm glad I did this, and I will see you in a future video. Thanks guys.